Rohit Tate back with your weekly sports updates. This week on news we have India is playing Australia. They've already played their ODI series consisting of 3 matches, 2 of which were won by the Australians, and finally India avoided a whitewash by winning the 3rd match, which was held in Canberra. David Warner suffered an injury in the 3rd ODI and hence will be out of the white ball series and is doubtful for the tests as well. Virat Kohli has finished the year without an ODI century for the first time since 2008. But what the hell? Talk about records and talk about Kohli. That man has created another record to his name. He has become the first player to reach 12,000 ODI runs. Oh man, talk about surprises. Surprises, that reminds me, the Indian bowlers were a surprise in disguise in the T20s which are going on. 2 of the matches have already been done and the 3rd one is going to be played on Tuesday. Yuzvendra Chahal, Shardul Thakur and Ravindra Jadeja, who retired early due to a concussion injury in the first T20I, shined throughout and they have been doing so well for the Indian side. India have lost a point in the ODI Super League due to their slow over rate in the first ODI against Australia, while the counterparts sit on the top of the table. Stark has withdrawn from the ongoing T20I series against India on personal ground. And then there is Natarajan, who has just spellbound everybody watching him and has done the most of his debut for the Indian side. Ian Chappell has not quite taken a liking to the switch hits, calling them annoying for Glenn Maxwell, and he has went on to the extent of saying that they should be banned from the game. Well, we wouldn't want to be on his bad side now, would we? The Dawn Award is presented annually by the Sports Australia Hall of Fame to the athlete or the team whose deeds have inspired the nation in the past 12 months. The Australian women's T20 team has won the Dawn Award this year for their spectacular win in the World Cup in March. England have swept the ODI series against South Africa with a 3-0 win, and David Malan has become the man of the hour. That guy has some 915 points in the T20 rankings, the highest for any batsman ever. Well, he was one of the major reasons why England could make it. Kane Williamson's majestic innings of 251 has helped New Zealand thrash West Indies in the first test by an innings and 134 runs. But the West Indians yet have something to celebrate. Cricket West Indies is honoured with the MCC's Christopher Martin Jenkins Spirit of Cricket Award. New Zealand's Corey Anderson has announced his retirement from international cricket. Martin Snedden will now replace Greg Barclay, who has now been appointed as the ICC chairman, as New Zealand cricket's chairman. Daryl Mitchell has been fined in the first test on breaching ICC's code of conduct. SRK's T20 franchise has invested in the American cricket's future. Sydney Sixers have signed the West Indian Test skipper and the hard hitter Jason Holder. Pakistan's tour of New Zealand is now under all the more pressure and limelight after 3 more players from the Pakistan squad tested positive for the coronavirus. Pakistan's squad has now been denied training rights by the New Zealand government and has been given a final warning. Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy has emerged as a complete winner when the BCCI gave the state team associations an option between which of the tournaments to be played for the 2020-21 season. Kylian Mbappe scored his 100th goal for PSG at the Montpellier win. Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 750th career goal. And look at the confidence of the man. He says his next stop would be 800. Well, God for a reason, ain't it? Alphonso Davies was named as the Canadian Player of the Year. Germany have confirmed that Joachim Low will remain their manager even after their humiliating defeat to Spain. Colombia have parted ways with their coach Carlos Queiroz. Nice have sacked Patrick Vieira. Finally, there will be some relief for Zinedine Zidane after Real Madrid win at Sevilla. Sunderland have appointed Lee Johnson as their new coach. Lionel Messi gave a Neves tribute to Diego Maradona as Barcelona thrashed Osasuna for 4-0. Soon after the match, Messi was fined €600 for the tribute. Stephanie Frappart has become the first woman to referee in the Men's Champions League. FIFA has approved maternity leaves for female players. Barca will hold its presidential elections most probably on the 24th of January. Premier League and the EFL have agreed upon a £250 million rescue package for the COVID-19 affected pandemic. And finally, Japan will be hosting the FIFA Club World Cup in the year 2021. Wolves star Raul Jimenez had to be taken to the hospital after a horrific clash of heads with David Luiz. Real Madrid have confirmed a thigh injury for Eden Hazard. Dortmund star Haaland has been suffering from a torn hamstring in a major injury blow to the Bundesliga outfit. And Morata has been given a 2-game Serie A ban. Edinson Cavani scores twice in the comeback game for United against Southampton. Tottenham and AC Milan have already reached the knockout stage of the Europa League. Tottenham take back the top spot after a goalless Chelsea draw. Giroud scores again for Chelsea as they go top after seeing off Leeds. The Senegal World Cup hero and ex-Premier League star Papa Bouba Diop has died at the age of 42. Elite javelin throwers including Neeraj Chopra, Shivpal Singh and Anu Rani have finally commenced their national camp and are now training for at least a month with their coaches Yuv Horn and Dr. Claus for the upcoming Tokyo Olympics. The Olympic-bound duo of the race walker Katie Irfan and the javelin thrower Shivpal Singh have been added to the core group of the Target Olympics podium scheme. Simranjeet Kaur, Ashish Kumar, Satish Kumar and Pooja have also been added to the scheme. These boxers qualified in the Olympics quota at the Asian Boxing Qualifiers which were held in March 2020. The only notable exclusion from the scheme has been that of Arpinder Singh, the Asian Games gold medalist winner in the triple jump. Swedish pole vaulter Armand Mondo Duplantis has won the Male Athlete of the Year award, while Venezuela's triple jumper Yulimar Rojas has won the Female World Athlete of the Year award, which were held as the annual Athletics Award ceremony online this year. Kenya's Kobe Watt Candy has smashed the half marathon world record by 29 seconds at Valencia. Former 800 meters world champion Marina Arzamasova has been banned for 4 years by the Athletics Integrity Unit for failing anti-doping tests. Rafer Johnson, whose famed track and field career came to a stop after his exciting win in the 1960 Olympics, has died at the age of 86. His finishes in the decathlon in Rome in 1960 was one of the most memorable decathlon finishes in the history of Olympics. The Diamond League has plans to get back with a complete format of 32 disciplines in the next year, that is the 2021 season, after it had to cut short in the 2020 season to 24 disciplines. Former IOA chief and CEO of the Indian Triathlon Federation, Ramachandran, has now been elected to the World Triathlon Audit Committee. He is the first Indian on the panel. Athletics Federation of India have confirmed the appointment of Radhakrishnan Nair, a vastly experienced person, as the head coach for the Indian athletes. Russia's suspended Athletics Federation have elected the 50-year-old Pyotr Ivanov as the new president, as they aim to be re-elected by the sport's world governing body after being suspended in 2015 for mass doping by its athletes. The WTA has decided to change the classification of tournaments in order to maintain a consistency in professional tennis. The highest WTA Premier Mandatory and the Premier 5 tournament categories will be renamed as WTA Thousands, mirroring the ATP Thousands, and which are just a step below the Grand Slams. The other tournaments, that is the Premier, will be renamed as the WTA 500s. The internationals will be renamed as the WTA 250 and the 125Ks will be renamed as the WTA 125. The 2021 season of the WTA will be starting outside of Australia. The Australian Open is all set to start on the 8th of February. Enrique Lopez Perez has been given an 8-year ban from tennis for match fixing. Bezui Dano has won the Alfred Dunhill Championship. Emily Pedersen has again won at the Women's European Tour at Open de España. And Antoine Rosner has sealed his first European Tour title in the final round 64. Lewis Hamilton won the Bahrain GP and soon after was tested positive for the coronavirus, as a result of which he had to miss the Sakhir GP and was replaced by George Russell. The Bahrain GP saw a horrible turn of events, with Romain Grosjean getting into a first lap crash, which was the most horrific incident. Somehow he got out of that accident with just minor injuries. He announced that he would not be competing in the Sakhir GP and thus Fittipaldi replaced Grosjean. Grosjean later announced that he would not be participating even in the Abu Dhabi GP and would be concentrating rather on his recovery. Thus, this is how his Haas career would be coming to a close this season. F2 racer Jack Aitken has made his F1 debut for Williams at the Sakhir GP. Mick Schumacher, who has won Formula 2 title before moving on to Formula 1, will be joining Haas for the 2021 season. Haas have also announced Nikita Mazepin on a multi-year deal for the 2021 season. Ferrari's chassis engineering head Resta will join Haas in 2021 season. Dakar winner Sens will be competing in the upcoming Extreme E Electric Series. Samuel Shazan has won the maiden two-wheeler national rally. Wesley So stunned Magnus Carlsen on his 30th birthday by winning the Skilling Open, the first event in the Champions Chess Tour. The first ever online chess Olympiad for players with disabilities was recently concluded and Poland emerged victorious in this chess tournament. Russia placed second while Ukraine won the bronze medal. Raja Ritwik has been selected to represent India in the World Youth Under-16 category for Rapid Chess Championship. Anthony Davis has agreed to a 5-year, $190 million maximum contract to stay with the LA Lakers. LeBron James and the Lakers have agreed to a $85 million 2-year extension. And Gordon Hayward has been traded to the Hornets from the Celtics for draft pick. Chris Finch and Jama Malalela will be joining Nick Nurse's Toronto Raptors staff as assistants. Australian NBA's trailblazer Andrew Bogut has announced his retirement. And an Indian farmer's son, Sahaj Patel from Vadodara village, will be representing the country at the FIBA World Cup qualifiers in Bahrain. The Swedish Gymnastics Federation has now decided in a groundbreaking move that it will let its teenagers decide for themselves as to in which gender category they would want to participate in the sport for practice as well as for competitions. A huge step, definitely in the right direction. Germany's Thomas Bach will stand unopposed to be re-elected as the president of the International Olympics Committee. The Ski Federation of India has cancelled several events which were to be held in Beijing to test the venues for the 2022 Beijing Olympics, including the Snowboarding World Championships, the Freestyle Skiing World Championships, and World Cup races in skiing, cross-country skiing, and ski jumping and Nordic combined. The 2015 Vuelta a España winner Fabio Aru is all set to join South Africa's only elite World Tour team, the Quebecer Açores, for the 2021 season after his 3-year stint with the UAE team Emirates came to a close. Mark Cavendish is also set to join the Deceuninck Quick-Step for the 2021 season after being with the Bahrain McLaren for the 2020 season. The Women's Rugby World Cup is all set to expand from 12 teams to 16 teams from the 2025 edition onwards due to a huge amount of popularity and increase in the participation in the sport worldwide. Ireland bossed Scotland big time and ran away 31-16 to come third at the autumn's National Cup. The inaugural edition of the Premier Handball League is all set to begin from the 24th of December to the 10th of January at the Savai Mansingh Indoor Stadium in Jaipur. The first season will see 6 teams, 80 players and 33 matches being played in the span of 18 days. Indian wrestler Narsingh Yadav will now be travelling to Belgrade with the men's freestyle squad after he tested negative for the dreaded coronavirus, making a comeback in competitive sports after serving a 4-year ban. He will be competing in the World Cup in Serbia in the 74 kg category. A crowd of 1,000 will be allowed to attend Anthony Joshua's World Heavyweight title defense against Bulgaria's Kubrat Pulev, as Joshua's IBF, IBO, WBO and WBA belts will be on the line. Former Mumbai Cricket Association's president and BJP leader Ashish Shelar has filed his nomination for the president's post at the Boxing Federation of India. Well, it is not really new for people to jump from other categories of sports to the MMA. The recent addition to this cluster is the multi-division boxing champion Claressa Shields, who has now entered MMA but will be continuing to box in the ring. She wants to become the first player by breaking the record and holding titles in both these spaces. Another name in the cluster is the Indian wrestler turned MMA fighter Ritu Fogart, who has ended her year on a high, definitely. She has won her fourth consecutive One Championship tournament and title as she beat Philippines' Jomari Torres in her fourth win. World number 2 boxer in the 49 kg category, India's Manju Rani, has served a notice of termination of contract on the country's one of the most leading sports management companies, iOS Sports and Entertainment, for allegedly failing to secure a single sponsorship for her in the past 1 year. On the 41st death anniversary of the legendary hockey wizard Major Dhyan Chand, former hockey player Dilip Tirke and internationally acclaimed sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik have both appealed for a Bharat Ratna for the late legend. The Major has to his credit 3 Olympic gold medals. He has played approximately 128 games for the country and has scored 570 goals in total. The International Hockey Federation have welcomed the decision of including the game in the 2023 Special Olympics World Games as a demonstrative sport. Well, that is it for this week, but we have some real exciting stuff coming up for all of y'all. Till then, stay tuned to all of our social media channels on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Like, share and subscribe our posts, videos, all of it, and stay updated with us. Comment your feedback and your views in the comment section below.